Yeah, just a little bit of thought I've had whilst looking into this transgender movement that's going on. Now, don't get me wrong, the people who are doing things honestly, openly, without lying, deceiving, and such like, they're not the people I'm having a go at. Well, I'm not going to have a go at anybody anyway. But it's the deception, it's the non-saying of who you are is going to be a big problem later on down the line. Basically, the whole world is balanced out as male and female to the point where a man will stand up for a woman or let the woman in the through the door. All these little things of common courtesy and things like that will all be reshuffled all over the place. Now, they won't be at first, but if you think about it, what happens then if people start realising they're being deceived and they're opening doors to men and not whom they think are women? That's going to annoy some people. Might not annoy the people on TV who are pushing the agenda. No, they're not going to push. They're not going to say anything or push anything negative about what's going on. Have a think of this though. Men usually fight men if there's a ruckus of any argument or anything. A fight breaks out and men fight men. Yeah? Now, if we're all non-gendered, right? And then you have situations where something kicks off. What happens then if a man hits a woman? That might not be a woman, but everybody thinks it's a woman. But he knows it's not a woman. He's actually fighting a man. Or the other way around. He has then a fight with a female to male, thinking he's a man, when it's actually a woman. Yeah? What sort of thing's going to happen in law about all that sort of stuff? I'm not saying fighting's right. Yeah? But that you'll have situations where men will be fighting men, but they won't. It'll be a man fighting a woman because of the deception. Yeah? So basically, it's going to be one big mess. Now, we all know that fights go on and stuff like that, and arguments and things like that. You've got to jump off the line that they're trying to draw. They're trying to draw a straight line within madness. There isn't no straight line in that madness, because the line they are drawing is a lie of a line. It's going to cause disruption across everywhere. You could also then be going out with a woman as a man, not knowing that the woman you're going out with, who's had all the genitalia cut off, sewn up, everything else like that, looking very, very similar, yeah, to a female's parts. And then you can't have kids. But you'll never know why you can have kids. It's because you might be married to a man and not a woman. Do you get me? 20 years married, and you can't have kids. As a man, you'll think that's your fault. Your pecker's not working, or whatever. Your balls ain't banging out the correct sperm, or whatever. The sperm count's low, and this, that, and the other. Which means then the men will get insecurities. Which means then the system of negativity will then start preying on those men. Go to see counsellors, doctors, tablets, and that's how they make money off you, everybody, indirectly. They are designing an agenda of a mess because of the deceit, more so. Yeah? It's because your wife whom you, unless you're very, very clever or have a ruler so you can measure the body gait, yeah, because the penis and the breasts proof is no proof no more. You've been married all your life and never have kids because you've been agendally lied to. Do you know what I mean? You could be in a pub where he gets drunk and all that lot, off the balance of normality, which all happens all over the world. Fights break out, what have you. You'll have men fighting men, but it could be a man fighting a woman, or you could have a man fighting a man, but it's a man actually fighting a woman. See how complicated it gets when you start talking about it. It's there to confuse you. It's not there to help you. That's a minority. You don't change the majority for the minority. Another example, what I'm trying to say is, you go downtown, right, for instance, loads of things happen, yeah, we all know that fights break out, and you see two guys in a, you know, with tie and shirt on and waistcoat and all that on, beards and everything, but one's getting pummeled, but it's a woman. Now if you saw a man fighting a woman, it'd be horrific. But a woman dressed as a man, you just let him get on with it, or until the coppers come, or something like that. You know that type. You know what I'm trying to say, don't you? Well, you could be walking down the road, or in a pub, as you know, blokes and all that lot, and get beaten buggery out of by a woman who's actually a man. But the guy can't fight back, maybe because he thinks it's a woman, but he's actually a man, beating the crap out of him. But he holds his gentlemanly arms back because he doesn't want to fight a woman, but it's a man. Do you get me? And that's before you even start of all the social upheaval and everything it's going to create. It might work on their internal bubble of media, because media talk to everybody. They're in their own bubble, so the bubble will convince itself, and because that bubble convinces itself, and it's in a higher order of the positioning within the, you know, country or across the world, because they're celebrities or wealthy and things like that, they actually convince themselves that their agenda is the right way and the right order, because they've been lying to everybody on telly with all the tricks under the sun, all the scalpels under the sun for years, all the hormones and everything else like that, and they get a rebound reaction of people, oh, people don't know we're deceiving them, so that's how it's grown. But to then release that to the general public and brainwash people into believing that there's no gender. Wake up everybody, just look down under your underpants, you'll spot it, male and female. And do you know how much money will be made from the youth of the next generations that go down this agenda assignment thing? £50,000, £100,000 and so on per person. Now that is a big industry to bang out and deceive and get money off people, in it, by a big advert on the telly. One big media advert, try to push the agenda across. Now they did it before with the supermarkets. They made everybody fat, really. The whole world's gone 3/4 fat. Everybody's about 2 stone overweight. Now you look how much money that takes to get 2 stone overweight per month, you know, much money per month, and then keep that weight as it is, if not go bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, thousands of pounds over a few years off each person. Yeah, now the agenda thing is hundreds of thousands of pounds off these people. Hormones, surgeries, the lot. The system of this world, to me, has turned around, and it's now raping the souls
of man and woman, all for money. It's not to satisfy your needs, because the brainwashing starts from school, which they're starting to do already. If you look into it, they do it on the news, on the national news and everything. They even use words. Britain does it by using the words a lot. Transition, transformation, trans. So everybody gets used to the word trans. But this big agenda thing, with all the other insecurities that have been created by the system taking the piss out of its own folk, have created insecurities to be floating in the air, to have people have many question marks in their minds because they are not being educated correctly and given a stable baseline from the system within its own country. The system has turned on within itself, and they're using the positions, the system, call it power and all that sort of stuff, to put across this agenda, basically to make money off you. They don't care. These people don't care if people are sat at home not knowing whether they're male or female, because they look to the system and the system just turns around, well, yeah, whatever you want to be. And if you want to be a boy or girl, but come and down this package, the A, B or C package. You could have A package, yeah, cheap tits, yeah, a quick slice of the cock off, yeah, 20 grand. We can have the B package, nice squeezy tits, and your wadger cut off, and a nice neat sewn fanny. Or you could go for the C, yeah, which is £100,000, which is nice tits, squeezable tits, yeah, with blow up facilities to create different sizes if you're feeling secure about your tit size, and then your dick can be cut off, right, and then you get a fanny and a clitoris for the C for clitoris. That's £100,000. Thank you everybody. So we've gone from overweight to get about £1,000 extra off everybody per year, to big billing to cut your bodies up, because the baseline of security for your country, which has been fought for hundreds of years, has been turned against its own folk by making question marks and insecurities away from who we actually are. We are pushing an agenda on the folk in this country of United Kingdom, and we are bully doing it by psychological brainwashing and repetitiveness and propaganda and everything to get into your psyche, to get those question marks into your psyche, into your kid's psyche, so that basically it opens up a big scalpel bill.